Okay, first I want to start by saying Kalalal Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of James from the stone, and salutation to you, came out there pushing the truth in sincerity, the hopeful elect, Shalom. This is a brother Canon from James, Jamaica, and just heard another lesson, and as you can see on screen, it's basically the distribution of the new vaccine. You know what I mean? Well, we know there have been attempts to basically, block the truth from going out there to you people. It's the time that we live in. Everything is getting censored. The elite want to put what they want to put out there. However, in the news, it has come to light that, well, it's been in the news, but again, for those who are not aware, the military is behind, or the military will be I want to say um, the leaders behind getting the vaccine out there to you people. Now, why doing this video? Because first and foremost, just hearing that alone should, kind of trigger your mind if you wonder this is something serious, because the military is a force, and you use military force to force things, which means reasons for bringing in, or for bringing the military into this, is because you're going to be forced to take this vaccine, whether you like it or not. And of course, they are aware of the resistance, which is why they have a force, because you're going to have penalties and consequences for those who decide not to do so. However, I'm going to play the video. I'm going to have some scriptures I want to bring out, because this is all about the Bible, it's about prophecy, the mark of the beast will be coming to you guys shortly after this vaccine probe. That's the whole plan of the elite, that's where the world is heading, and you just have to be aware of it. Now, I was playing the video, so I'm going to draw it back. Alright, just bear with me. All right.
Vaccine news. Pfizer expected to file for emergency use authorization today for their COVID-19 vaccine. And we're joined now by the general in charge of making sure Americans can get it, 4-star General Gus Perna from Operation Warp Speed. General, thank you for joining us this morning. Let's start with that big news from Pfizer. What exactly do you expect to have happen today? Are you ready to distribute this vaccine?
Hey, George. So thanks for having me on the show this morning. Really remarkable news. We've been on this journey for just a short time in relative terms. So for Pfizer to be filing for their EUA is just remarkable. And my responsibility is to make sure that we're ready to take the next step, which is distribute safe and effective vaccine to the American people.
And what do you have stockpiled right now? How quickly can it get out?
So we have about 40 million doses of vaccine, give or take exactly when the EUA comes out. And what we're going to do is we're going to execute fair and equitable distribution based on the population of the jurisdictions identified as the 50 states, 8 territories, and 6 metropolitan cities. And so, coupled, working with the states and the CDC, we developed...
All right, just wanted to pause there, because there's a dissect information and bring out things. Understand why they keep saying fair and equal distribution, right? Understand why they keep saying that, because we're going to get down to it later in the video.
A very extensive plan on how to distribute the vaccine. I will tell you, our success is going to be because of our whole of America approach. It's really been remarkable, whether it's the scientists and the logisticians of Health and Human Services, the planners, the contractors, the acquisition personnel of the Department of Defense, the great professional logisticians at the CDC, And then I just can't understate how powerful commercial industry has been in this effort, right? All the way from Pfizer and Moderna through McKesson, which is going to distribute it in a great trucking mechanism, and then down to CVS and Walgreens as they partner with us to distribute the vaccine.
You say it's going to be fair and equitable. How do you decide who gets it first?
So my responsibility is to make sure that the vaccine gets out to the nation in a timely manner. So our goal, EUA, plus 24 hours, vaccines moving throughout the country. We are executing it against a pro rata to the total population of the states. Once it gets down to the states, the governors, with EUA guidance, CDC ACIP guidance, will make sure that the priority for execution of the vaccine in their state will be implemented.
Of course, this distribution plan is going to have to continue after January 20th when Joe Biden is going to be president of the United States. We heard the president-elect say yesterday the fact that they can't coordinate with your team.
All right, I'm going to skip down a little more, and I mean, because I have some things I want to talk about. All right. Let's go about there.
That we are ensuring occurs the right way. What we did to get the vaccines to ourselves quickly is, in parallel, we've been executing manufacturing. We started it way...
Oh, sorry about that. Let me try a little bit more, because he was asked, you know, how he's going to convince Americans to take the vaccine. And just look at the comment. He's going to have to hunt me down and force it upon me. Well, my friend, wherever you are, that is what the military force is about, because I'm not going to take it. Common sense, all right? Common sense, clearly. All right, but according to the military and America and the world, this is the new way, all right?
Here on the show with you this morning, Truth in Lending is just to put a face behind what we're doing. Dr. Salawi and I have been partnered, co-leading this effort for the last 6 months. Everything we do is about providing safe and effective vaccines to the American people.
Let's drop back a little bit more. Sorry about that.
Precise guidance. Get safe and effective vaccines to the American people.
How do you convince the American people to take it? We still see a majority of Americans questioning whether the vaccine is going to be safe and effective.
So one of the reasons why I'm here on the show with you this morning, Truth in Lending, is just to put a face behind what we're doing. Dr. Salawi and I have been partnered, co-leading this effort for the last 6 months. Everything we do is about providing safe and effective vaccines to the American people. We started with the development, manufacturing. We have taken no shortcuts to this end. It has been a well-regulated and accounted for process that we are ensuring occurs the right way. What we did to get the vaccines to ourselves quickly is, in parallel, we've been executing manufacturing. We started it way 6 months ago. Really through the process, which is also a well-regulated process. And so we collectively have ensured the accountability of the safe and effective vaccine.
And can you get it to those communities that need it the most, those underserved Latino, African-American communities?
This is why you have to think about the equal distribution, not only just in portion, but in equality, because there are, according to these people, you have nations or race that are vulnerable, and that's you Negroes and Latinos, which for those who are in the know are part of this movement, Israelite movement, Hebrew Israelite, you know that we Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true biblical Israelite, which is clearly an attempt to target you people. It's no if, nor buts, nor maybe. Yes, it is for targeting everyone, but you people are the main targets, and you need to understand that. All right?
So, as I said, we're going to get it down to the states. States are going to tell us exactly where they want it to be. We can put it in one place in the state, or we can...
It's going to be mostly in your ghettos. All right? Now, just to bring out a few precepts, don't want to, play the video too long and don't hit a few points. So let me just go to Isaiah first, all right, real quick. All right. sorry, not Isaiah. Let's go to Proverbs 6 to 4. Just so I read it real quick. All right, so this is Proverbs 6 to 4 and verse 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Right? Who whet their tongue like a sword, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. You Israelites. So not only do they shoot at him and fear not, they don't care. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? Alright, so this is to aim at you people. Alright? All this is being targeted to you people mainly. Alright, now, gonna bring some more precept, but let's get into some more information. Alright? Now, in this video that I'm going to play, I'm not going to play all of it, you know what I mean? There's a point in this video that suggests that we're, let me just start it here. Alright, let me just give a highlight of what's taking place. There's a part in this video that this former military personnel or agent or whatever you want to call him states that the military don't go about these activities this way. They normally support. All right. For example, if you even in Jamaica, anywhere there, and the military normally take part in any curfew, they are anything like that. Normally, you have the police force and the military support the police force. You know what I mean? Or them normally support. Them not really take full charge. The reason why them not take full charge are getting the go ahead for being in charge of this is because you are heading into a military state. That's what things are warlike, martial law. That's what is taking place. That is what is basically being created under your nose. You know what I mean? So let me just play the video.
Is that when you start looking at the logistical requirements of a vaccine, and particularly the Pfizer vaccine, which
millions of Americans. We bring in retired Lieutenant Colonel Chris Alexander, who was a COVID crisis planner for the military's Northern Command. Thanks so much for joining us, Lieutenant Colonel.
Hi, how are you? Good to be here.
I'm well. Thanks so much for coming on the show. Question for you, how viable will it be to get the vaccine to all Americans, even those living in remote or rural communities, as we mentioned in our last segment?
Wow, so that is the really tough question that I wrote about is that when you start looking at the logistical requirements of a vaccine, and particularly the Pfizer vaccine, which requires this ultra cold storage, that really remains to be the question. Is like, how do we get a vaccine that's going to be tough to store and tough to transport into the most remote corners of America, like Lipscomb County, Texas, which I wrote about in my article.
And could the U.S. face shortages of essential distribution supplies like dry ice and ultra-cold freezers, like the PPE shortages that we saw in the spring?
Well, that's the fear, right? Is that we are in the midst of a transition to a new administration. There's a lot of lack of federal leadership from the top. And the last time we went through this was with the PPE, and there were shortages, and state and local governments were left.
All right, let's pause. Let's read this to comment. It said the military is going to distribute the vaccine. Sounds kind of scary. I can imagine them driving down the street, going door to door as well, as we are all on lockdown, giving people their vaccines, and they know how much they need for each house because they sent their workers out during the first lockdown to do the census. Everything seems to be falling into place, and this can be something very dark. All right, think about it. The virus is released, they lock us down, during the lockdown, took a census, reopened things up, and kept it open even while the cases were skyrocketing until the vaccine was almost ready. Now the vaccine are almost ready, shut things down again to distribute it. Yeah, I have a point, you know what I mean? This is clearly something that is planned, all right? But I'm going to get to the point of the video.
And so it's hard to identify whether there's a plan to provide the dry ice, provide ultra cold.
Alright, let's skip past that. You can watch the video for yourself.
Listen.
We have a vaccine that's coming. We have Operation Warp Speed, which is the military is going to distribute the vaccine.
Now, you worked in the military's COVID crisis operation. Is the military prepared to pull this off and effectively?
I don't think so, and it's not because we have a great military. I spent my entire adult life up to this point in uniform. However, it's limited. So there's several factors. One, the military is not designed to take the lead in this. We have always planned to be the supporting role to civil authorities. So it's just kind of, I don't think it's right to think that the military can somehow come in and replicate what state and local governments do. Second,
Okay, that's the point. You can watch the video. That's the point that I want to highlight. And I mean, this is martial law. It's a military state. This is a takeover under your nose. You know what I mean? And a lot of people will be lost to what is taking place. All right, let me get to the next precept. You know what I mean? Let me just read this first before I get to that, because let me read this precept. I had a precept that I want to bring up first, but I'm gonna read this one. All right. And then we'll go into the next article. Because all this is information. If you realize the video is playing mostly on saying things, I'm just here to chop it up and point out some things that you might miss. You know what I mean? Please. Okay, here we go. It says Lamentation 4 and verse 17. It says, As for us, our eyes has yet failed for our vain help. In our watching we have watched for a nation that could not save us. They hunt our steps that we cannot go into our streets. Our end is near, our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. Alright? Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven. They pursued us upon the mountains. They laid wait for us in the wilderness. Now, this is a clear example of you being hunted down. And now let me just go to an article here and show you a next step. Which we see this in Jamaica, when this COVID thing just come out. You know what I mean? Well, this is not the Guatemala thing. Here, let's go here. Alright. Alright. Let's look at this. Let's go back. Well, this is the news really, but I just want to show you. All right, let's just read from the news. All right, it says New York City's COVID checkpoints are back. Yes, it's back because it's been there before. As I said, we saw this in Jamaica also. And I mean, traveling from one parish to the next. That's how they do it in Jamaica. You basically will be passing a checkpoint and you would have to basically, meet the criteria for passing a checkpoint, which is an example of what the rfidchip system will be. You're going into a building, you have to get scanned. Just like the machine checking the temperature, you have to get scanned. You're going into a crossing a border, the same thing. We're gonna have checkpoints, and it's gonna be monitored by RFID chips coming very soon. All right, let me just read this real quick. This is 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 14. All right, it says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh." Right, the military. What the military use? Sword, guns. You know what I mean? That's how the military go about executing their plans. You know what I mean? All right, let's see here. Okay. They draw it nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. Say the race war. Alright? For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. Now let's go to this article. Alright? So look, that's Guatemala. What is taking place in Guatemala? Let's read. So Guatemala protesters set Congress on fire during budget protests. Right? That's World News Guardian. You know what I mean? So based on the budget being read, or whatever is coming out, Guatemalan people are tired of it, which you Guatemalans are Israelites. You know what I mean? So they're tired of it. They're protesting, and what? They want the head of their president, their minister, you know what I mean? Which is what? Sedition. And this is going to be the face of all country coming soon. You're going to have buildings being burnt, and the military is aware of this. This is why the military is being told, look, you're going to have to need to stand and be on standby, ready to lead into this, because not only that COVID is basically taking away your rights, it's putting a lot of persons or people in hunger and poverty. And even the so-called white man said that. I think it's a CDC well, I don't remember exactly, but not to point a specific department, but they did came out and say that look, this COVID lockdown is causing hunger crisis. A lot of people are being put out of jobs, finding it hard to find food. You know what I mean? And you can hear it depending on what work you do. You will hear customers complaining over and over. And there's a time where the poor won't have anything to eat than the rich. You know what I mean? It's going into that time period, and they're gonna want the head of these ministers to be roast. You know what I mean? So, hey, is what it is, yo. Let's continue. It said, in the course of their action shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Why? You're going to have checkpoints with soldiers there telling you that, look, no, vaccinate or not. You know what I mean? Get the RFID chip or not. He said, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. What the person said in the comment, it sounds as if they're coming out house to house to implement this, because they did a census after they locked down everyone. And I mean, so it's all adding up. Alright? A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and shall spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. You know what I mean? For great tribulation. And there's a lot more precept can be read. You know what I mean? I don't want to draw the video out. So with that, hope someone was edified. You know what I mean? This is just the simple truth. Those who will receive it will receive it. Those who are blocked, you will not believe what we're saying. You will still be simple and get punished. Alright? So that I want to say Kalalal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakakadash, which is to give all praise to the Heavenly Father in the name of His Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles and elders of James Street Stone, and to you all came out there. Shalom.